So we had a problem. There is a site that actually sells car, but again, we also want to create our own site to sell the same cars. But the source of data should be from another site. On a normal day, what you do with this kind of scenario is if the other guy or the other site that you want to get data has an interface, we call it an API interface. This is how you interface, how you communicate with anybody else from you within your system. So if you have a system, you can you formulate on a way to communicate with the other system. So that's we call it API. So that is application programmable interface that actually allows two different systems to interface. So the bad thing about this specific problem, the other guy who has the data did not want to provide an API for anybody to consume the data that they have. But they were ready for you to go and pick it up from their website in any other way that you have. So you could just go and pick it up for any other way. So the first way could be, maybe we have our personnel, our staff that could go to that website every day and look at whatever is in the website and manually grab that data and come and put it into our system so that we can display the product in our website. That could be a normal way of operating, of doing it, which is super manual and super tiresome. And because you have to regulate a lot of things here. When are you doing it? What's the frequency of doing it? And now having a human touch, now there's human error while creating the data. So there's a lot of ambiguity that will actually make this process either fail or lag or not be on time. And we really want to, whatever they have on their website at any particular point in time, we want to have that in our website too. So with that manual processing and shortcoming of the manual process, you had to automate that somehow. So the good part of automation and this age of technology that we have a couple of technologies that will allow us to actually do that, provided that the provider of the website allows that. There's the technology of scrolling through a certain website and capturing data of whatever is within that website. A lot of sites actually do that. So trying to go, like just how you go to Google, and Google goes to a lot of websites trying to get information that you want. So that too is how also we do that. So we did a process of automating this. Came in 2 or 3 processes. One of the first process is we created an automatic bot. It's not a bot, but it's an automated kind of bot that could go to that site and fetch that information from the site. So that's the very first point. It fetches an information. Now, with this we'll regulate on when it goes to fetch and how it fetches the data. So the very first information is just go to this website and scroll and get information on a certain page. After getting that information, the second process now is actually processing the information to get relevant data that we want from that information, from that site now. Now is getting data from the site and now processing it to information that you want. Thereafter, then take this data to your own database and engine so that you can display it anywhere you want. So that was the third process. So what we did this an automated process. Well, actually goes to this website, scrolls the website, goes to a certain page of website, picks up this data, brings them to our servers or our environment, process these data, capture relevant data, and cleans this data. And after that, actually stores this data into our own database. Now, we have this data in our database automatically without doing anything. And we can also, and the good part of this automation is you can try doing it at late hours when people are not actually visiting the site. And come morning, the data is there, and people now are browsing some new data, recent, So with this process actually helps us a lot, because by the time this automation that we have done is working, that is now in the night or any other time that is working, we're not employing someone to actually do that. For us, that is big of an advantage, because now you have one less of a staff to actually do that. We did this procedure manually with 2 or 4 staffs to actually be on point and on time, because everyone has to go. So with the computer, it does it automatic. It can go through 50 pages in a couple of seconds, rather than a human being going through 50 pages and extracting information. If I could estimate how much time you've saved along the way, is almost more than 32 hours per day. That is saying we had 4 or 5 people. Yeah, exactly. You're saving almost 3 days in a single day. Yeah, exactly. The initial stage of actually going towards AI, you already have a set of data. You already done these simple automation tools. Now, after you have this simple automation, now it's time to add some brain into the automation. So now it comes more just not a mere automation. It is an automation that comes with brain now. Now analyzing, it brings more analytical, it brings more relevancy in the data, because now you have added a brain to how you fetching or how you processing, because the process is the same, how I'm fetching, how I understand this data, how I process this data. Now is adding the brain to how you've done that. So I think it's a very good segue towards actually AI. And I think a lot of people could have started from the initial point of just normal automation, and this then come to the bigger automation that is now factoring the AI part. I'll say instead of automating on a customer service, it could be you're automating a customer service. I could actually give you a bunch of menus that say, what do you want to do? I want to do option A, B. Let's say it's an automated service for you actually to go and buy credit for your phone, calling credit. And let's say on a manual process, you could actually go to a shop, go to a teller, buy that credit, actually come back to your phone and then enter it manual on the phone, and now you have that credit and start calling and stuff. So, but with this automated way of doing it, you just on your phone, you dial a specific menu, and you go through the menu. Actually, you go through the menu and say, let's say, what do you want to do? The menu will ask you, say, I want to do the next process. This is the process. Then I want to do this. Then you go to the next until you get to the service. Then you have the service. So it's an automation, but it's still a manual automation. It's not an intelligent automation. On top of it, now, if you add AI, instead of taking this person through a journey of steps, you just ask first one for the service. What do you really want? I want to buy. Then it will just do all that for you. Now, because now we have added intelligence in the automation that we did before, now we've added a little bit of intelligence. So this will actually speed up the process itself. Actually speed up that process. From now, you actually to have to, yes, it was already automated, but you still had to go a couple of processes to actually just do that service. But now it's on a go, and it does a lot of other thinking and automating for you quite easy and quite faster, because now we've added intelligence into already the process that you already have. We have a lot to automate. We have a lot to automate. Yes, also in the finance sector, we still have a lot to automate. I had a problem. One of the problems some of financial sectors are facing is the reconciliation problem. This is one of the very manual problems actually is done right now, and this strictly can be automated. And sometimes because it's kind of hard, because this information, you're aggregating information from different sources. Reconciling information from the teller, reconciling information from the automatic teller, that is the ATM. You have to reconcile information from the transaction from other third-party money services that you're connecting with. So it's kind of hard for doing that. So if you're doing this manual, it's a super tiresome world, and it's even prone to error. Imagine how many transactions a bank is doing a day. Now trying to reconcile them manually, you still need automation. Even not in the financial sector, we have a lot of other sectors that really need automation. Thank you for having me. This is AI Ladder with IPF.